Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I am here to, as you can tell from the title, um, I've been hearing about this for a while. Now we've been talking about this for quite a while too. Of if WWE goes to another publisher like EA or Activision, you know. Um, so this brother here, Realm of Rage TV. Um, we're gonna watch his video, listen to the brother, and some of the stuff that he pointed out is really good. And I'm going to give my thoughts and my opinions on how I feel with this whole EA stuff, to be quite honest, because there is a sister out there that says that, you know, if WWE goes to EA and EA makes these games could be good and shit. And I'm over here like, look, sister, if you're right, I'll come back and say that you're right. But this is EA. Look, I guys, I'm into the point that I don't trust none of these companies. EA, Activision, Square Enix, Rockstar. Why should I trust any of these fucking goddamn... Why should I trust any of these video game companies? That's why I stopped following some of these video game companies and started making my own fucking goddamn game. Right? Because these motherfucking games are not satisfying me. So I decided to make my fucking goddamn own. Okay? And I decided to buy games that would literally satisfy me, like Final Fantasy, no, not Final Fantasy, like Dragon Quest 11, Neo: The World Ends with You, Super Smash Bros. Ultima, another one. Let's see, what do I have? Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, and other stuff. I have the collection of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 and 3. Like, those are good games. But, someone that doesn't play turn-based is going to say that those games are shit. Even though, without those games, there won't be no Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. So go fuck yourself when it comes to that shit. Right? I hate when people want to find the argument of like, oh, no, Final Fantasy was just going to happen anyways. Apparently you don't know the story with Final Fantasy. You dumb motherfucker. Shit, fucking idiots, man. That's why anyone that goes, oh, I like action RPGs and shit. Look, I like action RPG too, but when you criticize turn-based people that want turn-based back and you're like, fuck you, get with the times, that's why I have a problem with you and want to kick your fucking goddamn ass and beat you in your fucking goddamn teeth. Alright? Seriously. My fists will be your teeth and you will fucking get fucked over. Alright? Seriously. Shit like that, people like that don't deserve the air I breathe. People like that literally deserve to go 6 feet under. I don't give a fuck who they are. Alright? Seriously. You or worse than probably a pedophile. Or maybe you're exact same point of a pedophile. Yep, I said it. I don't give a fuck. So let's start with this video. I'm already like 3 minutes in, and already I'm already offending people. Good.
It's good, YouTube. It's your man Ray.
Because if I'm not pissing you off, I'm not doing my job.
Getting back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, I ask y'all please go down there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, and hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Realm of Rage TV. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all, as you see right here on your screen, not even a full day.
This came out on March 12th, 2022.
After WWE 2K22 officially released, for those that did not buy the Deluxe or the NWO for Life Edition, as you see right here on your screen, this ain't no Photoshop, this ain't no dark magic, this ain't no optical illusion. Just a day after WWE 2K22 officially released, we get this article right here that WWE games could end up being developed by EA, Electronic Arts, same people that make Madden, after 2K22. Now let's speak on it. Now we got an article here we're going to read, we're going to react. That's just how we do. Alright, so let's get into it. WWE 2K22 is reportedly make or break for 2K/Visual Concepts deal. The future of WWE games may end up being developed by EA and not 2K, according to a new report. These are the same guys that made UFC 4, Fight Night, and along with a host of other fighting games. And I will say this before I continue. For those that's been rocking with me for a while, remember that video I did that said, what if these games were made by EA instead of 2K? Shout out to B-Rock and Bearded Beanie Guy. for bringing the subject up, for bringing the subject matter up. We were talking about this very subject around this time last year. So, for those that have not seen it, go look and check that video out, all right? We were talking about how EA was possibly going to be making 2K, and what would happen if EA was the ones making WWE games going forward. And people called me crazy. People called me, B-Rock, and Bearded Beanie y'all all crazy. We don't look so crazy now, do we? We don't look so crazy now, do we? Anyway.
Now, this is not to the brother or anything. I just want to say this. I even told myself, if EA grabs this game, grabs the rights to do WWE games, I'm going to be like, okay, so am I buying it? Why should I get it? Why should I get it? Oh, give them a chance. I gave 2K a chance. Look what happened. So why the fuck should I give a chance to any of these fucking goddamn companies? I already said this before in the beginning of the video. Why should I trust any of these fucking goddamn companies? Okay? Seriously. And when EA does make these games and it comes out shit, I'm gonna laugh at all of you guys. I'm gonna laugh at all of you guys. Because I guarantee you will come out like shit. It will. And if it doesn't, well, then I eat my words. There you go. You know, sometimes I'm wrong, but at least I can man the fuck up and say that I'm wrong. Other people can't. Other people are like, well, it still sucks. You know, if it was like Child's Play 2019, then I definitely would have never touched it. You know? So, the thing is, it's funny. It's funny. I was suspecting Activision to grab the rights before EA. I was suspecting WWE to go to Activision first before EA. Because I think EA is the last place you should go. Even Activision, but shit. If WWE had two choices and they had a gun in my head, freaking EA or Activision, I'll be like, Activision. Why? To see how you fuck it up. Seriously, who else are you gonna go to? Okay, for example, let me give you guys a fucking example. What if EA makes this game and it sucks, like the 2K ones, and then and then they go to Activision and it still sucks. So who do they go? Rockstar. It would still suck. Why? Because you do not know what the fuck Rockstar is doing and what they want to go to the fucking goddamn future. For crying out loud, the last good game Rockstar made was Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 was their last game. Where's the other games? I don't know if this is true or not. Remember, I said this before and I'll say it again. Supposedly, they were going to talk about Bully 2 during the Gaming Awards, but they didn't talk about it. If that's 100% true, you're holding out money that people could fucking buy, because I've been waiting for fucking Bully 2. But since you want to hold that shit, and if it is true, then what's the point of me buying it? If you're holding money, then why the fuck should I give you money? To be honest. So I'm going to continue on here. Again, it wasn't about the brother. It was just some of the stuff that I wanted to point out with the EA stuff. And I'm just like, look, if you guys are hopeful for EA, I just want to say one thing. Do you hope to pay the bills? No, you do it. When people hope for 2K to make a good game, they hoped. And 2K was hoping too. They didn't do it. Right? There was another brother that said that, I keep saying nukes. 2K most likely took a year off for all the controversy stuff, and they took a year to make this game. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be fucking goddamn surprised. Why? Look how it turned out. And then if you look at WWE 2K, you keep seeing high YouTubers that go like, oh, that you know, that stupid fucking goddamn face, man, that they always fucking put. Like, who cares? No one doesn't want to see your fucking face look like this in a fucking thumbnail. The fuck's wrong with you? Might as well put a fucking sex image on a fucking thumbnail. Oh wait, you can't do that because of YouTube. Actually, it doesn't fucking goddamn matter, actually. Most people are like, really? Yeah, I've seen stuff that was on thumbnails of YouTube, and I'm just like, oh, but if I put that, I get fucked, right? But if someone else puts that, they're fine. You see it with the high YouTuber type of shit? These high YouTubers that talk about 2K and they're like, with their covers and shit, they got exposed right off the bat. I didn't expose them, they exposed themselves. The fuck? How can you say anything about this game being good? I played 2K22, actually. Yeah, I did. I played it at my sister's house. She got it. Yes, she got it. And I played it. The gameplay, to be quite honest, is not as bad as people probably put it out. Could be better? Fuck yeah. Okay? Fuck yeah, it could be better. The roster could be better, but for what they got, it's fine. It's fine. It's not like you can't make the big show in creative mode or something like that, for example. You know? Like on Stone Cold Steve Austin, for example, if they didn't have him. You know? That's the one thing that when people complain about, I'm like, guys, you have custom suite. You can do that. Even if you don't have to put it online, it doesn't fucking matter. Why do you guys care more about online shit? Who cares? Who really fucking cares? Alright? These video game companies are starting to realize, too, that some of us don't give a fuck about online, and they're trying to get us. The people that are online, they already have them. They're trying to get the people that don't give a fuck about online. And it's killing them. Not physically company killing them or money or all that, no. But it's killing them emotionally and mentally. Because they can't grab us. We're old school fans. Some of us are born from the 80s and 90s, and we don't accept this type of shit. Because we grew up with good games like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, Chrono Trigger. I'm talking about RPG games. Spyro, Crash, Super Mario Brothers. For crying out loud, man. There's already people talking shit about that new Kirby game, and it hasn't even come out. How can you talk about a game that how can you talk shit about a game that hasn't even come out yet? The Kirby game comes out on March 20th, something. How do you got the game like months, not months, a week, 2 weeks before someone gets it in a week by now? You know? You know? I don't understand that at all. That's how I know it's Bobby bullshit. I didn't even look at the fucking video because like it, you know how some videos you see on YouTube and you just know it's bullshit right away, and then when you click it, you'll be like, "Yup, exactly what I thought." Yep. You know, that's how you know your intuition is really good, people. You should really listen to your first eye and your gut. But moving on. Again, it's not an enlightenment video or anything like that. It's just a common thing that people should know.
As shared by GameSpot, a recent report about Fightful via Patreon.
Sorry, I took a moment there. I just had to get stuff out of my chest.
Claims that multiple sources have said that WWE has had preliminary discussions with EA about bringing the WWE games line over to one of the top gaming publishers in the world. Yeah, okay. According to the same report,
Square Enix and Rockstar are the top gaming companies of the world, gaming publishers of the world. And I don't agree with their business practices. But EA, they haven't been on top since the PS2 era when they promoted Harry Potter. You remember that? Remember when EA was selling Harry Potter games on PS2 era? And after that era, most likely PS3 and all that. Maybe they did. But I didn't give a fuck after the PS2 era. They still did. Did they still do the Harry Potter games after the PS2 era? Because if they did, then damn. Damn. Because some of the later games I've seen, like, oh, they're doing like a Call of Duty type of thing. I'm just like, who made this game? Who made this game? Harry Potter should not be a Call of Duty simulation.
Success of the recently released WWE 2K22 could be the make or break for WWE's current deal with publisher 2K and developer Visual Concepts. Thankfully for its current developer, it looks as though WWE 2K has come on leaps and bounds from the disastrous launch of 2K20. Released back in 2019, the last WWE game was riddled with glitches, had character models that looked nothing like the wrestlers' real-life counterparts, and a new control system that many fans couldn't seem to get grips with. According to the Fightful report, WWE has shown a lot of frustration with the reception and lack of success of recent games. The report continues, the gaming market is a major selling point for them, and they believe they have fallen behind the competition. Now let me stop right there, because that was a mouthful right there, and that's a whole lot of info.
One of the reasons why I make this video right now, because of that right there. I'm just like, oh, intrigued. Tell me more.
Right there with that last statement right there. The gaming market is a major selling point for them, and they believe they've fallen behind the competition.
That's what shocked me even more. WWE felt that they had been falling off the competition of being a good game. WWE knows 2K. WWE knows that your games are shit. And look, WWE doesn't know anything about video games. Like, what do you think they went to EA? To be honest, I'd rather have Insomniac Games make a wrestling game, to be quite honest. Oh, THQ Nordic or something like that. A good company that has a good track record. Not a company that has a fucking bad track record, especially recent years. Like, not even 3 years. I'm talking about like 5 or 10 years. You know? It's just...
I just want to give a shout out to WWE, at least in this regard.
Right.
They are the company. They are the one big time company I have seen go after the people that were supposed to be making their games and say do better. Why is the NBA and the NFL not doing the same thing?
You hear that?
Why is FIFA not doing the same thing? Why are other big time companies that have video games made after their company? Why are they not demanding the best from their why are they not demanding the best from their game developers as well?
Thank you. I want to point this out too. WWE, for how corrupt and fucked up that they are, and I know, they literally went to you, 2K, and told you, fuck you, we want a better game. And all you have to say is, no, fuck you. Now, I understand with the whole, like, them taking out roster and everything like that, but you could have told WWE, give us more time. If you want a good game, give us a little bit more time. Obviously, WWE didn't want that because, you know, WWE just wants things like yearly and all that shit. And that's another problem that WWE does have. But I give them credit right here. They actually went to the developer and told them, this game is shit. And I'm over here like, WWE doesn't know anything about games. They still kind of don't. But someone back over there in WWE actually does. Intriguing. Maybe when WWE finally went to the video game market, you know, with around the 80s and stuff, eventually probably someone that got into like the wrestling games became one of their partners, and then they had to go through them with the wrestling games and everything like that to see if it was good or not, or passable to even launch or something like that. But if that was true, what happened with 2K20? If you thought that was so bad, WWE, why you couldn't just fire 2K right there and be like, never release this game? In fact, we're keeping it. We're getting all the fucking... WWE has a lot of money to literally keep all of those fucking games inside a fucking storage and let them fucking rot. WWE has that much money. 2K, I don't think 2K has that much money. For crying out loud, they would have imagine all the 2K20 games stuck in their storage facility and they will lose money. But with WWE, they will buy that shit, all of it, and put it in the fucking storage and let it rot. They will literally let it rot. They probably have a separate shack somewhere with all those WWE wrestling games and then burn it, and then that's it. And then WWE will be like, money well spent. I mean, to them it'd be like fucking burning what, $5. For this type of company, it's nothing. Same thing with Ukes. I mean, same thing with 2K20. 2K. They're a $1 billion company, but you know, they still burning money. For kind of loud, look at 2K22. We gave them lists upon lists of what we want in this game, in the next game. And what they do? Nothing. And I already knew that they're not going to do the top 10 of what's in the list. They're probably going to do what? The top 2 or 3. And I already knew that from the beginning. That's why when they made a fucking live stream saying that, oh, we're gonna take in consideration on all that, I knew it was a flat out lie. And some people were like, oh, but that's when some people thought that, oh, you know, since they talked about that's when they started caring and shit like that. No, they didn't. They would. It's a PR stunt, guys. Have you know anything from WWE and other fucking video game companies? PR stunt, one-on-one, man. That's the first thing that they do every time some shit doesn't go their way. If WWE does it, if Rockstar does it, if Square Enix does it, what makes you think 2K won't do it? Of course they would. They're doing it right now by keeping shut about this game. They haven't talked about anything about this game. When are they going to talk about it? When are they going to talk about it? When WWE goes to another company that makes their game? Or when WWE gives 2K another chance and they make 2K23, which should be 2K24, and this game, 2K22, should be 2K23. They already got the tires fucked up. So that's why I wasn't expecting nothing good to come out from this company.
So shout out to WWE for getting in 2K's ass and say, no, you're not finna rest on your laurels. You're not finna sit here and just make anything and then expect people to buy it, because that's fucking with our money too. So
that's true, but at the same time, WWE, you should take your own fucking goddamn message. Because your product is shit. Okay? It's so crappy and so pathetically shit that literally I'd rather spit in your face if I see you in the fucking goddamn street. That's how pathetic you are to me. Alright? Any of these wrestlers I see in the street, I'll say hi, you know, shake their hands and shit like that. But if I see Vince McMahon, Stephanie, or any of these fucking writers on the top of WWE, I will literally kick your fucking ass. Because all of you guys are shit and don't even know how to fucking write a fucking goddamn story. Even Vince McMahon himself wants something fucking goddamn new. And you keep fucking kissing his ass. Stop kissing his ass. He doesn't want an ass kisser. He never has and he never will. He just plays that shit so people can get aroused and to see what people will react to. That's how Vince is. He's like that. And you haven't noticed it? I don't even know the motherfucker and I know that shit. Just from interviews, shit that you hear from behind the scenes from him, and the shit that you see in interviews of him. No shit, he's like that. He just wants to see how you are. The whole thing with the whole Kofi Kingston stuff. And then what Jericho told him, hey man, don't take that, do something. And Kofi went out. And then Vince was like, yeah, that's why I want ruthless aggression. When I heard that story, that's when it really dawned on me of how Vince really is. I'm just like, he's just an old man that's with another part of the time that's about, you know, strengthening. He was in a type of era that people had tough skin, you know, and people stopped having tough skin around in the 2000s. Once 2000s hit, people started having soft skin and started being offended about everything. Literally, man, I never saw the offensive stuff in the 80s or 90s. I never have. And still, once 2010 hit, that's when everyone was like, I'm offended of this, I'm offended of that, cancel this, cancel that. And I'm just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? None of this shit wasn't around beyond 2010. Before 2010 and 90s and 80s and shit like that. For crying out loud, like, so stupid. For crying out loud, the 30s was more hardcore than you motherfuckers. And that shit was a fucking dark age. Okay? Especially for people that look like me. Alright? Seriously. Only white people were fucking, civilizing, living fucking good lives and shit like that. While we were fucking miserable and fucking dying and getting raped and fucking getting eaten and killed by these motherfuckers. Right? That's why you need to learn your history. If you're not, you're doomed to repeat it. WWE, 2K. You're doomed to repeat it. 2K, you repeat the same shit what you did in 2K20. You didn't learn anything. The only thing you learn is that, oh, people want a new thing on the new next game. Okay. They want GM. Give them GM. Because apparently that's all they want. And then the game will miraculously be good. Then we can add microtransactions, and it will be fine because we added GM mode, which people wanted. Once I heard the GM mode stuff, I knew it was going to be crap. All they had to do was copy and paste from SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 or SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Those are the only two things you could have copied and pasted of. Hell, some people might say SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 because that's the best GM mode. It is. I've tried it out before. It's fun as fuck. It's, in my opinion, it's way better than 2007. I love 2007, but 2008, it just feels more better. It feels like they got what they really wanted out of GN mode, you know, when THQ was making it, you know. But moving on, going back to the brother here. This is a 7-minute video. That's why I'm like pausing and talking and all that shit. But you guys don't mind.
Shout out to WWE. I wish y'all would use this kind of sense with everything y'all do, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
One of the main competitors for WWE these days comes in the form of AEW All Elite Wrestling, which features a number of now ex-WWE superstars in its roster.
You see, look, there's some people out here that be like, oh, the slurpers will eat the 2K game all up and then they will buy the game. Especially the people that are for WWE games. I'm like, well, yeah, because WWE games haven't given us anything. If the AEW game is giving me something that the other 2K games didn't, of course I'm going to buy it. The fuck's wrong with you? Are you that blind and that fucking hatred with the AEW fans and wrestlers that you don't want a good product from it? Like a game? Going back to what I said, if you are upset that any of those wrestlers from AEW are not in, like, you got an AEW game, the game's good, but you don't have Undertaker in it, make him! Make him! My God, are you lazy? No, you're not creative. That's how I know you're a fucking robot. You're a fucking bot. Literally. You're not creative. That's how I know you're a robot. That's how I know you're not a real person. You're just a fucking machine that's waiting to die. You don't have a soul or a spirit. You're just waiting to die. You're just waiting for some motherfucker to come up to you and punch the living shit out of you. That's all you are. Because you're a machine. No machine is not gonna... Whatever, man.
And is in the process of releasing its own video game. The AEW video game is due out at some point this year and is being developed by Japanese developer Yuks, who previously developed a number of WWE games.
It's funny. A lot of people went crazy when what is it? Fuck. When this guy said that the AEW game won't be like the 2K game, Kenny Omega. When Kenny Omega said that, you have some... At first I was like, what are you talking about? You know? So at first I, was questioning. I was like, what is he talking about and stuff like that. Then I see, some brothers and some other people complaining, being like, oh, how dare you, fuck you, and shit like that. And I'm just like, guys, he's most likely making fun of 2K, right? And it is. He is. He's saying that, yeah, the AEW game would not be like the new WWE games. He's literally making fun of 2K. And WWE's seeing that, and WWE's like, you see, WWE knows that AEW is a threat. If they weren't a threat, they won't be doing this shit. And it won't be fucking changing NXT if AEW wasn't a threat. WWE lost to AEW. That's why Vince changed everything from NXT. But yeah, you're going to have people that call other people slurpers defending what WWE is doing for NXT. But look at how the way NXT is now. Where are they? Where are all those people that kept calling, that I did agree with, slurpers and all that, the people that called other people slurpers and all that. I agree with them to an extent, but where are they? Where are they? Seriously, where are they? I go to some of their channels and they haven't uploaded a video in, 2 or 3 months? And I'm just like, okay, 2K is out. Where's you talking about this game? Like, you don't have to talk about this game, but at least you could come out and say, see, guys, I told you that this game will be crap, or you shouldn't get it, and I'll see you guys later or some shit. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for, like a response of what not a response, but like what your thoughts on. But hey, to each one is, I can't even think right now. I don't know why I can't think right now, man. I apologize. So, hey, whatever, I guess, right? So, but still, if you're going to be like that, I guarantee you will buy the AEW game. Guarantee you. You will buy it, and hey, if it's a good game, cool. But hey, you would still buy it though. I guarantee you probably will. But if you don't, then you don't. Okay then. Like me, look. When EA is making these games, if they are or when they do, because it's not really finalized, they're just talking. But if it is, then you're not going to see me probably buy one. And if I do buy one, it better be fucking good. Like a EA game, a wrestling EA game that's really good. I'm talking about it needs to be so good that it needs to beat Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and 2007. Oh, that's too much high expectations. Then fuck you, I don't want it. You mean to tell me you can't make a good wrestling game that can beat Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, No Mercy, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 and 7. You mean to tell me you can't look at all of those games and put them all together to make one magnum opus of a fucking wrestling game? You can't do that? You can't do that. You can't do that. That's how I know. That's how I know you can't do anything. That's how I know you don't have creative fucking shit. Right? If EA does that shit, like if EA does that shit, I'll literally buy their game. But if they don't suspect me to buy their games just because, they went to a different company and another wrestling company is making their games. I don't care. If it's good or better than all the other games that came before, and I'm not talking about the 2K series, fuck you with that shit. If someone came up to me and those games came out and someone's like, it's better than the 2K series, I'd be like, is it better than Here Comes the Pain? Is it better than SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, 2006, 2008, 2007? No? Then I should not buy it. Why the fuck should I buy it? I'm talking about why should I buy it on launch? Like, I'll probably buy it eventually, but not to give the company my fucking money or GameStop my money, you know? I'd rather go to a mom and pop shop and give them my money so them can be afloat and shit like that. But I won't give my money to GameStop or these video game companies. Fuck that shit, man. That's why when I saw 2K20 at my mom and pop store, I'm like, I'm buying it. And it was like literally like $15 or $25. Literally nothing. So anything else that I could have played and complained about wasn't really all that, really nothing to complain about because I spent like $15 or $25 on 2K20. So really, there was nothing to complain about. In my opinion, I got what I got. If the game crashed, well, you know what? I paid $20 for it. Most people are like, yeah, but there's some games that are $20 that don't crash. I know. What story? What kind? It's like, what a concept, right? What a concept.
Including the WWE SmackDown vs. Raw series, WWE 2K14 through 19, and more. And that is the end of the article. Now, I know a lot of people sit there and say, they actually got competition this year. That's not the point. And even if that is the point, y'all see what just the threat of competition makes people do?
Yes, the threat of competition, you see what people do? Exactly. But I want to point this out too. WWE, your competition is not with other wrestling games. I hope you know that. Most people are like, what are you talking about? WWE games were never a competition to beat other wrestling games. Most people are like, what are you talking about? Yes, it is. No, it wasn't. What's the most biggest factor that's in these games? For crying out loud, it's in your old WWE games like Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown Raw 2006, 7, and 8. Well, I'll say 7 because I forgot about if 8 can do that. I'm talking about lifting weights and grinding and leveling up. You do that in SmackDown Raw 2010 on the DS, which is another good game. A really fucking good game. Highly underrated in my opinion. Play that shit if you see it. Highly underrated. It's like THQ notice the faults from the flaws from the DS SmackDown vs. Raw games, and they perfected it in 2010. That game is seriously underrated. It's really fucking good. Really good. And if 2K22 was like that, to be quite honest, I wouldn't complain at all. At all. That game is fucking fun. Okay? Like,
now what's going to happen when they actually have competition?
okay, so going back to what I said. So yeah, WWE, your competition is not other wrestling games. I mean, you could want to do that, but to be quite honest, your main foe is RPG games. Because you're an RPG game. Yes. Wrestling games are action RPG games. Furthermore, you have a competition with other RPG games. Okay? That's why I pointed out years ago, talking about the WWE games that I got. I talked about this not years ago, probably a year ago, but months ago. I talked about this, saying that WWE games are the best RPG games of all time. Why? You can create you can create your own story, create your own character, and live that life of the character. Hell, people even said back in the day, if Rockstar did a WWE game or AEW game, it should be like an open world type of thing where you go to arenas and stuff like that while you're driving a car or something like that. And then when you fight in an arena, you can go to, outside of the arena while you're fighting. Maybe your car will be outside of the arena. You slam your opponent on the car and stuff like that. Shit like that. When I heard that shit, I'm like, you know what? If Rockstar did make a wrestling game that's like that, I wouldn't mind. And to be honest, that is the next best step to do for a wrestling game. But where they do it, or where they just complain saying that it's too much. Oh, too much ambition. You have the technology. You have the money. You could do it. There's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse. If I can grab RPG Maker for the DS and make a wrestling game out of that, in an RPG style way, then there's no way. There's no excuse for you to say, no, we can't do that. If I have a tool that can do that and it's more inferior than what you can use, and I could do it, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. Now you have another competition, WWE. People that are making their own games that are literally stealing away from you, and other RPG games that are also competing with other people that are stealing away from these video game companies and making their own games. Because they're tired of the bullshit. They're tired of these fucking crappy games. I am too. That's why I decided to make my own game. Even if I don't release it to the public or not, I'm having my own game. When I make my own game, I probably won't have to buy any other game at all. That will save a lot of money. Once I thought about that in my head, I'm just like, so what's the point of buying these games again? You can buy these games to support the company and stuff, but when you have a tool to make these games, it might take time. But when you have the motivation and the goal to do it, you have more of a push for yourself than any of these fucking companies do, more than fucking 2K does. I'd say that much. All right? Seriously. That's why I made a video, especially my Enlightenment video a long time ago, saying that these video game companies are doing these type of things because they know what time it is. And eventually when everything's all closed, like everything's all gone, like no more Nintendo, no more Square Enix, no more RANT and all that stuff. When that stuff happens, us, the used to be consumers, can get those Mario games, Final Fantasy games, and literally make them our own. And none of these video game companies can't be like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. Oh, we have to stop you. No, you can't. Because you're not around anymore. You're dead. So we can actually make what we want to do with GTA, basically. Like the online stuff. We know how GTA was going. You know how Rockstar was going after people with the online stuff? Just to sell crappy product of what we call was it the definitive edition of Grand Theft Auto. So there was that, and I point this out here because I know someone's gonna be like, "Yo, that's cool. I can't wait for that to happen." And all these companies are afraid of it. These video game companies can't stop what's coming, and these video game companies can't stop what people like me are going to do in the future. They can't because they won't be around. They'll be dead.
You have no choice but to put out the best product possible. So, which I go
Yep.
back to the NFL and the NBA and say, why are you limiting your resources to one gaming company when you can literally outsource your resources to anyone and get the best game possible?
Yeah. The thing is, WWE did used to do that back in the day. They used to have other people do their other games. Yes, you did have LGN made majority of some of their games, but they had other people under their banner that were making like their games and stuff like that, and other people were making their games too, or down the line, like the arcade games and stuff like that. So, so there was that. The arcade WrestleMania, someone made that, you know. So, for example, you know.
That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day.
It is. It is. And I will agree that I would love to have multiple companies that make WWE games. Because at least I would have, hey, for example, I'll be like, hey, 2K is doing bad. Let's go to THQ. Oh shit, they're doing awesome. You know, let's go to Ukes. Oh shit, they're doing amazing. You know, for example.
The topic of WWE 2K22. Now look, I've said this before. I like the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really am. But if WWE feels that these guys are not giving the best effort, or not giving their best, or not putting their best foot forward, as the old folks would say, then I think it is time to move on. However, I will also.
I agree. In WWE, you should take your own message. If you can't do what you can do, then move on. Move on. Move on.
So say this, WWE. If you're having problems with 2K making their own shit, expect the same amount of problems coming from EA, because these motherfuckers haven't made a correct Madden game in God knows how long.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad he said that. Because look, what they making the MMA games, right? Could be gone. Or the UFC games. Either one. I could be gone. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm right with one or the other people. But my friend that plays some of the UFC and MMA games, because his brother plays it, he played the latest one that he played last time, and he said that the fighting is slow. And I've seen the gameplay of it, and it's slow. It is slow. But I do like the fact that the stamina, like the balls, go up every time you punch a person. All that kind of reminds me of the old WWE games and stuff like that. I always like that. Instead of in 2K, you see fucking numbers and points go up like a percentage and shit like that. I don't care about that. I don't care about percentage. I want to see a bar moving, all right? Like a life bar. I want that shit moving, all right? That's more satisfying than seeing numbers go up, in my opinion. That's just me. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm not gambling. This ain't no fucking place that I can go in Dragon Quest and gamble my shit upon and be like, yo, that shit's awesome, you know?
UFC 4 was released for free for a reason. When is the last time they made a fight night? Oh yeah, 2011, 11 years ago. And it was only when Steel City and Esports Boxing Club was announced that they decided, oh yeah, we do make boxing games too. We can't just throw boxers in an MMA game and don't just slap the whole fight night community in the face. We actually have to make a game night, so we actually have competition behind it.
Stupid concept.
So with that being said, 2K...
All these companies becoming dumber and dumber, or they're just not giving a fuck, mainly because they literally know what time it is on this planet. Which one is it? They don't give a fuck, or they're just dumb? I'll let you guys answer that.
Hey, get your shit together. Because you're not dealing with just anybody anymore. You're dealing with the WWE, and if WWE feel that y'all not doing y'all job, guess what? I hope they do pull the plug on y'all ass.
Mm-hmm.
Now again, I'm wishing for your success. I am. But if you can't get it done, time to move on. Mm-hmm. And I think that should be the precipice, and that should be the standard, I should say, for every big-time company that has a video game made out this business.
Mm-hmm.
Demand the best, and you will get it. If you can't get it from them, find someone else who can. There are plenty of gaming developers out there that would love $1 billion budget to make a game that they would be passionate about. So why not give them a shot instead of trying to give EA and 2K the only shots? Like they're the only two gaming companies in the world.
Thank
They're
you.
not. Just because they make the most money doesn't make them the best. It just makes them the ones that make the most money. That doesn't make them the best.
Thank
and when
you.
you corner the market like those guys have, you kind of have no choice. But now what's going to happen when the market is, what's going to happen when the market has multiple people making that game? Now we start getting the best out of these game developers that we should have been getting for the past decade and simply have not. So to end the video, man, 2K, let this be a warning. Get your shit together.
But like I said before, WWE games are not meant to compete with other wrestling games. They're there to compete with RPG games. Other RPG games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Yes. Okay? For crying out loud, those are the wrestling games are the best RPG games you could do. For crying out loud, man. If you took SmackDown Raw 2011 or 2010, you can make those games last fucking forever. Even still to this day, you can play the game. All you have to do is just update your roster and add new people. And if the slots are gone, well then, okay, they're gone. You might have to delete some people that, if you might have to delete some people that you don't want anymore, Hold on. Okay, guys, sorry. I had a copyright claim on a video that I've been trying to upload on my other channel, but no. Oh, it's offensive. Offensive? Warner Brothers, you made it. How is it offensive? Shit. Moving on. Yeah.
Because nothing would please me more than to see y'all finally get what's coming to y'all and say, since y'all can't get it right, we're going to find somebody else to do it. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this article, man. Do y'all think that WWE should be made by EA or 2K? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer someone else?
I prefer someone else. I don't prefer none of these motherfuckers. Okay? Why do we think Activision or EA are like the only two publishers that can make these wrestling games? Why? And the thing is too, the reason we mention Activision and EA is because we literally are making fun of the fact that like, oh, sure, what, they're gonna go over there? That's the mindset WWE has. Well, the chart says. I'm not asking the chart, I'm asking you. Well, the chart says.
Make these games. As long as you're respectful and logical, we can have a conversation, but that's in my video. Hope y'all enjoyed this one.
Alright, that's it. Yeah.
Pleasure making it for you. My name is Rage King, and I will see y'all later.
That's really it. I'll probably can look at another video and talk about it, but I went an hour long already, guys. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about this again. What do you guys prefer? What gaming company do you want to take WWE games? Okay? WWE is sick and tired of 2K. So what are you going to do, 2K? You sick and tired of WWE also? Well then, maybe you should never make their games to begin with. Why did you guys become partners in the beginning of the first place? Seriously, 2K, let me ask you this question. Did you came to WWE or did WWE came to you? And if WWE came to you, you should have known you should have made a good product. Because if you didn't make a good product, guess what? You were never gonna make more of these games. You have 2K15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. You have like what? 5, 6, 7 games under your belt. And THQ has more than that. And I'm not talking about the WWE games, man. I'm not talking about the SmackDown vs. Raw games. You have other wrestling games. Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain. For crying out loud, SmackDown 1 and 2, I believe. Ukes has been around since SmackDown 1 and 2, I think, right? So that's it. I'll see you guys later. don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And tell me what you guys think about this video. Tell me what you guys think about what WWE is doing and the EA stuff and the 2K stuff. So, hey, I already said, like I said before, and I'll say this again. The 2K, if EA makes these games, I'm not getting it. But if all of a sudden it's better than Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown Sqawn 2011, 7 and 6, and No Mercy, then I'll definitely get it. But if it's not, then why should I get it? Why should I get it? Even if it's better than Here Comes the Pain or SmackDown Sqawn 2011, just one of them. Just one of them. If one of them is better than the other, then yeah, I'll play it. But if they're not, then why should I fucking goddamn play it? It's basically 2K 2.2 or EA 2.2. Is EA Activision 2.2 or is 2K EA 2.2? I don't know. But Rockstar's hitting that road anyways, and we're already seeing Square Enix going through that route anyways too. So there's that. So I'll see you guys. I'm done, and give me your thoughts and your opinions about the stuff that's happening with WWE and 2K.